Jack, how disappointing a scoreline is that today?
Yeah, usually. I mean, we know that it leaves us in an even more difficult position than we were in prior to the game. Still one that can be turned around, of course, but we knew the significance of a win today, and so ultimately hugely frustrated and disappointed that we hadn't done it.
How did you rate the overall performance? Because the last couple of weeks the performances have been good. Even Dumbarton, the game and loss, have been good. How did you rate today?
I thought the first half hour wasn't really acceptable in terms of the tempo we wanted to play the game at. I don't think there was much in the game in that period, but we were a little bit flat, a little bit off the game in terms of how high up we played, which was disappointing because we stressed that to them all the time. I think we perhaps 10 minutes to go in the first half, all of a sudden they started playing in that manner as if the shackles were off, and stressed that again at half time. And I think second half they played with a real impetus and desire and a tempo. We've still got to do an awful lot of things better in the final third. I thought we put a huge number of balls into the box, and a number of them were quality balls as well, but we must have this desire and ruthlessness to go and finish these opportunities as well.
You said it can be turned around. How do you go about starting to do that?
Well, I think that for me they must believe in what they're doing day in, day out. We have worked much harder in training, the tempo of the training has been higher. As soon as they believe that they can drop off that, then we'll find ourselves in an even more difficult position. They must maintain that belief in what they're doing on a day in, day out basis. The performance level has been better, still got a bit to go, I keep saying that. I'm not going to pretend that it's still acceptable because we still need to be better, but I think when you look at the last 3 home games against teams that are above us in the league at the moment, I don't think anybody could say that we haven't deserved better than we've had in terms of results, but they must maintain that belief in each other, themselves and in the team. They need to feed off me for that, because I've said to them in there that I won't stop doing that. I won't stop believing in what we do day in, day out, but ultimately I'm not going to shy away from the fact that we need to turn that into positive results as well.
The team's played 7 games in the Cups and they've won 6 of them, but they've still not won in the league. What's the difference there? How are things better in the Cups than they are in the league? What do you think?
Well, a lot of the games obviously been prior to me taking charge, so difficult for me to say for certain, but I think that even last week the performance was similar. In the start of the game I thought we played a bit tentatively, and then all of a sudden the shackles come off again, and so they have to trust themselves to do that from early in the game. It's certainly not something that they're not encouraged to do within the confines of the dressing room. Everything in there is positive and about doing things positively on the pitch, and when they do that and they play at a tempo and they play with their instinct, they're so much better for it. You can see that, and when the performance level goes up. So I don't think it's so much a difference between league and cup. I just think it's having that belief in what they do from the first minute, rather than it being 25-30 minutes or beyond that to do it.
It's obviously the Cup again next week with Spartans. Would you rather that it was a league game, or do you just take the games as they come?
I mean, we've no choice in it. The games come how they come, but the message in there again is about coming in Monday and we start preparing properly for that game, because each game, I said before the game, each game has to be just as important as the last one for us, whether it's cup, whether it's league, whether top league team, bottom league team. Each game has to be approached by the players in the same manner. That's how I approach them in terms of my preparation. They've got to be the same, and that mentality has to get stronger, and that they believe in doing the right things time after time.
Obviously there's a lot of games until January, but the thoughts kind of turn to January and maybe what you can do in the transfer market.
That's been the case from day one, because it's a continual assessment of the squad. It's a continual overview of what areas we need to strengthen, and it's perhaps altered as time's gone on as well. We at the moment we're not scoring enough goals. I think that's plain to see. We're creating a lot of opportunities. I think in terms of the balls we've got into the box and wide areas, I think our wide players have given us that. So there are areas that we need to address. The assessment of who might be available continues on a daily basis as well, and we will freshen things up then. We have to, because we need that fresh impetus going into these months as well.
Have you spoken to the chairman about budgets and how many players you can maybe look to get in?
I mean, the situation is where it is in terms of what we had available at the start of the season. I obviously inherited a squad where that was already taking care of the budget, so it's about what I can try and shuffle around, and we'll look at how we do that best, and we will do it, because we have to be creative in how we work it, and there's alternatives we've looked at already. We've tried to get a couple in that we, not through budget reasons, just through other reasons that we couldn't do, but we'll still look to pursue them and others, and we will freshen things up. But in that meantime, in that interim period, I still have to get the best out of everybody that's here, and a lot of them, I think their levels are going up, but they need to get higher and higher and higher and keep pushing that way.